Welcome back to the deep dive. This week, we're moving past, all the whispers and rumors and diving headfirst into something that feels like definitive, terrifying truth.
Oh, absolutely. Our source material for the session 12, it's such a pivotal document. This is where the entire scope of the adventurer's mission it explodes.
It really does. It goes from this local survival story into, well, a cosmic war.
It's the session where they learned they are not the heroes of this story. Not really. They're the leverage.
That's a great way to put it.
That retrieved conch shell, it fulfilled its destiny, it transformed the Banshee, Agatha, into this chillingly powerful oracle. And what comes next is this complex tapestry of doom.
A tapestry that involves a local white dragon threat, the impending march of a five-headed queen, and these interdimensional rivals who see the world as just, collateral damage.
Exactly.
So our mission today is to take Agatha's layered visions, which are so intensely personal and at the same time globally predictive, and really unpack them.
And we have to analyze that searingly immediate threat they faced on the road, that encounter with the young Remorhaz.
Well, for sure. And then finally, dissect that moment. The grand prophecy stopped being abstract and started, dropping frozen pieces of evidence right onto the ground behind them.
It's an instant shift from philosophy to survival. This is where we learn the cost of compassion and the terrifying realization that while they're focused on the ground war, they are actively being cracked from the sky.
Okay, let's unpack this. The last time we checked in, the party had successfully navigated the Tower of Storms. They delivered the mysterious conch shell, the item stolen from Agatha, back to her.
To her spectral remains, yeah.
They were hoping for information, maybe a puzzle solution. What they got was a literal metaphysical overhaul.
The transformation of Agatha is the first indicator, really. It shows that the party has moved beyond simple tasks and into the realm of powerful ancient magic.
She was this wailing, tormented echo of grief, tied to the sorrow of her past life.
Right. And when the conch shell was delivered, it didn't just make her happy, it restored her. Her form shifts from this miserable specter to a figure of, it's described as ghostly moonlit alabaster.
The torment is gone.
It's replaced by this profound cold power. And crucially, that awful wail is replaced by a voice that is clear, melodic, and it resonates with absolute truth.
It's a full transition from torment to an ancient, insightful power.
So she's no longer bound by her suffering, and now she is free to act as a true oracle. The bargain was met, but she immediately shows that her powers go way beyond simple puzzle solving.
Oh, way beyond.
Exactly. She confirms the deal is met, but instead of focusing on the physical task they thought they needed, like solving a puzzle box or something, she uses her power to clarify their hidden purpose.
And she gives them this intimate, almost unnerving proof of her power.
The lost letter. She manifests a letter that the party had lost a long time ago. She holds it in her spectral form, and the duplicate that appears in the air is projected. Well, in the listener's own handwriting.
I mean, talk about invasive knowledge. That specific detail confirms her power isn't just about ancient history or general prophecies. It reaches into the deepest recesses of your personal memory, your identity.
It feels like she's saying, I know everything you have ever written or thought.
And it's the perfect way to make sure they, and by extension, you, the listener, pay attention. The secrets you think you're keeping are totally visible to this newly empowered oracle.
And having established that authority, she immediately turns their attention to the most pressing local threat, Cryovain.
She starts by giving them this sudden sensory blast of winter dread.
The vision is just overwhelming. A sudden fog rolls in, and it carries the distinct scent of a true winter storm. They can feel this chilling, icy rain and the sharp wind of the mountain.
And the focus is immediately placed on Phandalin, the village they literally just left.
Yes. They see a monstrous white dragon, Cryovain, with scales described as jagged glacial shards circling the town.
We know from way back in the early sessions that Cryovain has been this destructive presence, right? Stealing livestock, causing chaos. But what is Agatha's description, the sound of splintering wood and screaming, add to that picture?
It confirms the immediate threat is escalating, like exponentially. Cryovain is no longer just a scavenger or some regional predator.
She frames it as the beast of winter.
Exactly, and that it's actively threatening to choke the life and stability out of the entire region. The sounds of destruction suggest the dragon is attacking more openly now, more aggressively. Maybe it's sensing the weakness that's coming with the global conflict.
So this vision is basically a ticking clock for their local quest. They have to deal with Cryovain, and they have to do it quickly.
But the truly fascinating part of this prophecy is how it immediately fractures this huge global threat into 4 deeply specific personal warnings.
Right. She doesn't just give them marching orders. She validates their personal traumas, their goals, and frames them as integral components of saving the world.
This is the narrative string tightening. It confirms that there are no side quests anymore. Every single personal struggle is now directly relevant to the apocalypse.
Okay, let's start with Plep Glep, the Turtle Druid.
His destiny sounds like a true hidden lineage coming to light.
It really does.
Agatha tells PG that his path connects him to a long-lost lineage of adventurers tied specifically to the ruins of Thunder Tree.
And not just that, but that reaching a sunless place, which sounds like a deep mine or a crypt or something, is the key to confronting Cryovain itself.
It's a massive revelation. It suggests PG's current journey isn't random at all, but was, preordained by an ancestral past.
What about the warning about shadows? He must be wary of shadows where a future friend waits. What do we make of that?
That introduces immediate tension, doesn't it? The key to defeating the dragon is in this lost heritage, but the path is dangerous, and this future friend might not be an obvious ally.
Right. Why wait in the shadows?
Is this potential ally a creature of darkness? Or just someone hiding for strategic reasons? It makes PG's quest twofold. Find the past and be very, very cautious about approaching this future friend.
Okay, next let's turn to Valindra. Her relationship with the god of destruction, Talos, has been a central pillar of her character, the source of her new power.
And Agatha just shakes that foundation to its core.
She calls Valindra the child of the storm.
And then delivers this massive philosophical crisis. Agatha says that while Valindra sought power from Talos, the entity she serves holds a great and terrible secret.
She casts immediate doubt on Valindra's whole perception of her higher holy purpose.
Yes, she asks her to consider that not all power from the heavens is benign.
Wait a second. If the source of her elemental power, her divine patron, is secretly malignant or hiding some dangerous agenda, how does that fundamentally change her identity that is a spiritual and existential threat, far worse than a dragon?
It's the ultimate psychological warfare, isn't it? If Valindra's faith is founded on a lie or some terrible secret, then every act of devotion, every burst of power, is just pushing her further down a treacherous path.
It forces her to confront the very nature of her divine gifts. And it asks us, the listeners, to question the benevolence of all celestial patrons in this universe.
It suggests that even the forces that seem to be aligned against chaos might have their own ulterior, devastating motives.
Okay, for Turin, the gnome barbarian, the prophecy seems to focus more on reconciling his intellect with his sheer physical strength.
That's precisely right. Turin's path is leading him toward a place of great invention and even greater chaos.
Which feels very on brand for gnomish ingenuity, often bordering on reckless experimentation.
And Agatha suggests that in this place, his past, maybe the things he's hidden or regretted, will be forged into a new future.
And the cryptic instruction, to look for clues hidden in plain sight.
It emphasizes that his destiny isn't just about brute force, it's about discovery. Turin has to use his intellect to synthesize his experiences.
So it's a warning that confirms his personal quest for self-improvement, and his technological curiosity isn't a distraction. It's actually the key to unlocking the way forward.
He has to stop seeing his past as a burden and start seeing it as the raw material for his future.
And finally, we come to Imogen, who's been grappling with this profound memory loss from past trauma.
And Agatha just lays bare the psychological state of denial. This is maybe the most empathetic and at the same time the most terrifying warning of them all.
She tells Imogen explicitly that the mind is a fragile thing, and that suffering immense abuse can cause a person to bury memories to protect themselves.
Oh, but, and this is the key, she warns that this denial can be dangerous, a seed of insanity. The forgotten past, if it's not reconciled, will erupt in destructive ways.
And the unexpected key to resolving all of this trauma, the drow, Neza.
Yes. The source suggests Neza might be the path to regaining focus and memory, and this is such a profound connection.
Neza, a dark elf who operates in the shadows and relies on cunning. She's the key to truth.
It suggests that maybe the truth Imogen needs to hear is harsh, unsettling, and it requires someone skilled in navigating moral complexity to deliver it. The party now has to rely on this recent, often morally ambiguous ally to heal their most vulnerable member.
Okay, let's pivot from those personal stakes to the cosmic scale. This is the moment the ceiling just blows off the entire narrative.
It really is.
Agatha shifts from these individualized fates to the grand global conflict. And here, those warnings they received from the Nothic back in Session 8 finally snap into crystal clear focus.
The threads connect instantly. They see the southern horde, soldiers with painted red hands, marching to a hateful song, and it's all led by a five-headed queen.
This confirms the Nothic's cryptic ravings were about Tiamat, the Dragon Queen, and her advancing army. This isn't just a monster, it's a colossal, organized force of evil bent on conquest, a threat of global slavery.
But the crucial world-altering revelation is that this massive army is just a pawn. Agatha makes it crystal clear. The strings are not their own. The Dragon Queen's forces, despite their destructive magnitude, are being manipulated.
And she immediately unveils the true masters of the war.
And these masters are not of this world.
Not at all.
She shows them the rivals, silver ships that sail the stars, carrying beings with cold, dead eyes and swords made of thought and fire.
Okay, let's focus on that incredible imagery. Swords made of thought and fire. What does that even imply about the nature of this force?
It suggests an exponentially advanced technology or maybe more terrifyingly, a kind of psychic mastery. If their weapons are derived from thought, their physical form might be secondary to their mental power.
These entities, they represent a cold, calculated, and highly organized malice.
Yes, the very antithesis of the primal, chaotic evil of the Dragon Queen.
So we compare the Dragon Queen's horde brute force, hateful songs, red hands, to these star-sailing beings with their calculated psychic weaponry. We have two completely contrasting forms of apocalypse on the way.
And that contrast is the entire point. These cosmic rivals are coming to fight the Dragon Queen's forces, but Agatha is chillingly specific. Their victory is not the adventurer's victory.
She warns that their war will burn your world.
The planet is just a battlefield. If the Dragon Queen wins, the world is enslaved. If the silver ships win, the world is incinerated in the crossfire. They are caught between two existential catastrophes.
Which leaves them in an impossible position, trying to save the world from two separate, overwhelming forces that are hostile to one another, but equally hostile to them.
It provides context for every desperate local struggle they've had so far. Suddenly that regional white dragon seems less like the apex predator and more like, I don't know, a distraction.
And the final vision she offers are just pure chaotic destruction to hammer that point home.
It's a rapid-fire sequence of utter chaos. A giant lightning boar, a world of dragons, both friendly and hostile, a creeping shadow, and then the ultimate horror, a Tarrasque rising from the deepest depths.
The Tarrasque is this legendary beast of destruction, right? One of the few truly unstoppable terrestrial forces.
Yes, but even that ultimate horror is subject to the machinations of the cosmic war. Agatha notes the Tarrasque is brought by an angry god, so a divine power is intervening. But then, it's only cleansed by a massive falling meteor.
So even absolute terrestrial destruction is just a moment in a cosmic chain of events. A god summons it, then space just clears it up.
It reinforces this idea that their world is fundamentally unstable and subject to powers they cannot possibly comprehend. The scale is just too large.
After delivering this exhaustive, terrifying roadmap of doom, Agatha drops the final emotional bombshell.
Gundren and Sister Gariel.
The two companions they just rescued. They're safe, but their paths are now unbound from the party's destiny. The choice is immediate. Do they risk their grand destiny, the urgent mission to Thunder Tree to confront Cryovain, by ensuring their friends get back to Phandalin safely? Or do they abandon them for the greater good?
This is such a profound moment of ethical tension. The prophecy demands immediate action toward Thunder Tree.
But morality, demands they protect the people they swore to help.
And in a world of cosmic betrayal and galactic war, the party chooses human decency. They opt for duty and compassion, taking the still unconscious Gundren and the exhausted Gariel back to Phandalin.
If we connect that decision to the timeline, this moral choice, while commendable, means they immediately delay their critical mission. The clock that Agatha just set ticking has been paused for compassion.
Duty delays destiny, and as we transition into the next segment, the environment immediately reminds them of the price of that delay. They are not alone on the road.
The journey back to Phandalin immediately provides this powerful thematic contrast. They're reeling from this vision of Tarrasques and silver ships, yet they pass the hopeful, mundane progress of the waystone in construction.
It's narrative genius, isn't it? While they are contemplating universal annihilation, they see the enduring spirit of humanity. Footers are laid, stone walls are rising. People are building a tavern, planning for a future that might never arrive.
A testament to hope and denial existing side by side.
But the journey is interrupted by a distinctly human and immediately suspicious element. Varys Tamroth, a half-elf beast hunter.
He's described with keen eyes, the wiry build of a perpetual tracker, a professional.
Right. And he approaches them with an offer that, on the surface, seems incredibly useful given what they know is coming. He offers to teach them the complex art of monster tracking.
But the price immediately makes the party question his motives.
He demands all proceeds from any magical beast found, which raises a critical question. What exactly is Varys doing with these magical beasts? Are they resources? Trophies? Is he part of some kind of black market?
A true deep dive has to ask why the skill of tracking is so readily available, yet the financial reward is completely monopolized.
The party's instincts clearly tell them to keep their distance. They choose their own path over a potentially lucrative but morally dubious partnership.
They sense the mercenary nature of his enterprise.
Definitely. Despite the clear, escalating need for specialized monster hunting skills, they prefer to retain control over their discoveries. They seem to fear they would become unwitting contractors for Varys' potentially cynical operation.
And that ethical barrier proves to be a momentary advantage, because Varys' presence is about to be confirmed by an immediate, fiery emergency.
That night, the ground itself turns hostile. PG is on watch when the world starts to hum.
It's not an earthquake, right? It's something else.
It's a profound, deep, seismic vibration humming beneath the ear of something moving under the ground. And it's followed instantly by an intense, radiating heat rising from the earth itself.
That combination is the signature of the monster that is about to attack.
And PG, recognizing the extreme danger, reacts with commendable speed. He immediately calls for an evacuation, barely scrambling the supplies onto the wagon and urging their ox forward, just narrowly escaping that opening attack.
Because the monster is responding to the vibrations of their movement.
Exactly. The prophecies are instantly forgotten in the face of this searing, immediate struggle for survival.
Let's talk about the beast itself. It bursts from the ground, drawn by the vibrations of their desperate escape, a young Remorhaz. They encounter something hot enough to burn the night.
The description is terrifying. A monstrous beetle-like creature with dozens of millipede feet, moving with surprising speed, and its senses are exquisitely tuned to ground vibrations, which is why the slightest sound or movement is an immediate death sentence.
The tension must have been unbearable. The party just freezes, realizing that a creaking wagon wheel or a nervous cough could invite a direct, fiery strike.
They're so terrified, PG and Turin have to resort to crude, silent sign language to try and maintain that oppressive silence.
And this is where Neza, the drow, proves her tactical worth.
She relies on that unparalleled stealth from her heritage, the ability to move in total silence. She quickly grabs a small, dense item and, moving with impossible quietness, pitches it 30 feet away from the wagon and their unconscious friends.
A brilliant tactical misdirection. It exploits the monster's vibrational focus.
It works perfectly. The creature, drawn by the minimal sound and ground impact, lunges toward the decoy, and as it moves, its lethal defense mechanism kicks in. Its belly glows a bright, hellish orange, superheating its undercarriage.
The heat is so intense that it just ignites the very earth where the decoy landed, turning the ground to ash and flame.
It shows you that you don't even need to touch this creature to be burned alive.
This high-stakes distraction prompts PG's daring sacrifice. He realizes they need a massive, undeniable sonic and aerial diversion to get the slower wagon to safety.
He executes a high-risk plan involving a specific item he carries, the Stone of Whomping.
So for the listener who might be unfamiliar, the Stone of Whomping is essentially a unique magical item designed to create colossal, disruptive sonic booms and ground-shaking vibrations. It's an artifact of concentrated noise.
Right. And PG transforms into a giant vulture, a large, noisy bird of prey, and begins beating his wings loudly, deliberately drawing the monster's attention to himself. He goes airborne and noisy, away from the wagon. It's an act of profound self-sacrifice.
And the Remorhaz takes the bait. The fight goes aerial, which is an even more terrifying prospect than fighting it underground.
Absolutely. The fiery insect, chasing the sound and movement, unfurls its cobra-like hood, which illuminates with an angry red light, and then it takes flight itself.
It's a fiery, millipede-footed horror soaring through the night sky. It defies logic.
And as it passes directly over the wagon, its intense, superheated body is so hot that the canopy top immediately catches fire. Even PG's distraction was barely sufficient to prevent major damage.
But PG, maintaining his focus amidst the heat and danger, finds the opening he needs.
In a moment of sheer strategic cunning, as the Remorhaz is focused entirely on the pursuit, PG drops the stone of Whomping, that dense, noisy artifact, directly into the creature's massive, gaping maw.
And there's this dull thunk deep in the beast's abdomen.
The shock, or maybe just the sheer density of the stone impacting its internal organs, breaks the creature's concentration. Its flight becomes erratic, it loses momentum, and it crashes back to Earth with this thunderous sound of splintered wood and displaced rock.
While this epic struggle is unfolding overhead, Valindra, who had been wrestling with that crisis of faith from Agatha, proves her elemental connection is still a reliable asset.
She reacts instantly to the immediate danger on the wagon. She uses the water magic she's been exploring, gifts from a questionable source perhaps, but potent nonetheless, and she swiftly conjures water to douse the burning wagon canopy.
It highlights her growing command of the elements.
And more importantly, the party's cohesion under pressure. They are individually powerful, but they are functionally effective as a unit.
The battle is over, and the aftermath provides a final suspicious twist that loops right back to the hunter they met earlier.
Precisely. As soon as the monster crashes, Varys Tamroth and his monster hunters emerge from the shadows. They were clearly close by, maybe tracking the Remorhaz, or maybe they were tracking the party, sensing their proximity to danger.
And they immediately move to restrain the colossal fallen beast.
Despite his dubious nature, Varys proves to be a man of his word, or at least a shrewd businessman. He pays PG for his cunning defeat of the creature and offers him a gift.
The Ring of Varys.
The financial payment confirms the value of these magical beasts in this world's economy, but the ring is the real point of interest.
The Ring of Varys is explicitly designed for a lucrative, specific purpose. If PG captures and successfully restrains a magical monster, touching the ring to the creature yields a monetary reward.
This is confirmation that Varys runs an established, sophisticated, and highly industrialized operation. It's a cynical enterprise based on exploiting these dangerous creatures.
So by accepting the ring, PG has effectively become a potential, if unpaid, contractor for Varys' black market ecosystem.
They part ways, but the question hangs heavy. Has the party just walked into a dangerous system of exploitation that might conflict with the grand moral duties that Agatha laid out?
It creates a moral tension for PG moving forward. He's gained a powerful tool and wealth, but he is now tethered, however loosely, to a mercenary who profits from captured monsters.
Monsters that may themselves be victims of this chaotic global conflict. It's a classic dilemma of using questionable means for ostensibly good ends.
With the immediate threat handled, they decide to travel straight through the night toward Phandalin, focusing only on delivering their injured friends to safety. Neza is at the reins, driving them through the hours of darkness.
They're exhausted, running purely on adrenaline and the profound weight of the prophecy. They yearn for the familiarity and relative security of the town they just left.
But as they travel, the final, most terrifying warning of the session is delivered from above, proving that the prophecy is already active.
The omen.
A silent, chilling shape passes overhead. They see a flash of white against the dark moon,
immediately accompanied by a profound whisper of freezing wind. This is the signature of Cryovain. It confirms the white dragon is not merely circling Phandalin, it has intercepted them on the road.
And then, the tangible, horrifying proof, a terrible thud on the ground behind them, shattering the night's silence.
They stop the wagon and the horrific discovery is made. The leg of a cow, frozen solid and slick with blood, dropped from a great height.
This is a definitive, gruesome calling card from Cryovain. It's a statement.
This isn't just accidental debris. The dragon, the beast of winter, has located them. It is tracking them, and it has deliberately dropped a piece of frozen, bloody livestock, a trophy, onto the road right behind their carriage.
It is the ultimate confirmation that the cost of their delay, however morally justifiable it was exposure.
Agatha's words are now immediate reality. The dragon is hunting them, aware of their location, and perhaps even mocking them by dropping a piece of its dinner. The stakes are no longer theoretical. They are standing in front of a grisly, frozen souvenir left by their greatest enemy.
They finally make it to Phandalin after that harrowing night, and the session concludes with this necessary, chaotic, and utterly human moment of decompression.
We swing violently from apocalyptic dread and aerial combat back to the small, petty dramas of life.
Valindra, still reeling from the suggestion that her holy purpose might be corrupted, seeks purification and luxury, soaking in a hot rose petal bath. It's her way of washing away the doubt and the fire.
Meanwhile, PG and Turin, having just faced down a dragon-level threat and a fiery insect, turn their attention to a matter of utmost gravity.
Trying to recruit Russell, the asthmatic tabby cat, to join their adventures.
Russell, quite reasonably, remains loyal to the warmth of the Stonehill Inn fireplace.
And this argument over the cat's importance, the sheer banality of it, is what shatters the quiet they were looking for. Turin and Imogen start bickering. The peace is destroyed.
And it culminates in Valindra yelling from the bath that their arguing is absolutely not conducive to post-apocalyptic relaxation.
It's a brilliant final note. It demonstrates that even when standing at the precipice of galactic war, the adventurers are still fundamentally human, exhausted, and prone to pointless squabbles.
It reminds us that the chaos of the micro is just as persistent as the chaos of the macro. They have been given the roadmap to saving the world, and they immediately retreat into the comforts and absurdities of small-town life.
So what does this all mean? The Banshee has laid out the core conflicts. The local threat, Cryovain, is immediate and actively hunting them. And the global threat is layered, pitting the brutal Dragon Queen against the cold, technologically superior forces of the Silver Ships.
This deep dive shows an immediate and escalating crisis. The frozen cow leg isn't just evidence of a hungry dragon, it's a strategic warning. The party can no longer separate their quest from the coming global conflict.
And their honorable decision to prioritize their friend's safety in Phandalin may have cost them precious anonymity, making them visible targets for the Beast of Winter.
The prophecies provide a chilling roadmap. The Dragon Queen is marching, but the true masters of the war are those cold, dead-eyed entities from the stars wielding psychic weaponry. The world is the casualty.
The key takeaways for the listener here are critical for navigating this escalating narrative. First, prophecy provides certainty about the ultimate events. We know the two great powers are coming, but the timing and the immediate consequences of every decision remain uncertain.
Second, the world is under simultaneous attack from every angle, forcing the party to triage threats ranging from a local dragon to a cosmic invasion.
And finally, the intensely personal warnings confirm that individual trauma, whether as Imogen's suppressed memory or Valindra's compromised faith, is not a side story. It is directly relevant to the fate of the world.
It suggests that personal healing is a prerequisite for planetary salvation. It truly connects the micro-struggle of the individual mind to the macro-struggle of the universe.
Agatha warned that the invaders from the stars will burn the world to fight the Dragon Queen. The party's immediate destiny is intertwined with finding Cryovain in Thunder Tree, a mission they delayed. How much longer can they afford to ignore the evidence that Cryovain is merely a distraction from the larger, more existential fight?
And this raises an important question. What is the larger network that Varys Temerov represents? By equipping PG with the Ring of Varys, he has pulled an adventurer into his commercial web. How will that cynical, highly organized market for magical beasts intersect with or complicate the party's duty to fight two separate apocalyptic armies?
That's a question whose answer will surely not be relaxing. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Destiny, Denial, and Frozen Cow parts. We'll see you next time as the chaos continues.